Would you say Craig Mack A team, B team? Got A teams and B teams? Good to know. Willard Dibs, what's up, guys?
What's going on, boys?
What's going on, Dibs, man? You look a little red.
Oh, I'm good. I mean, what do you mean red? I'm always red, kid.
No, I mean,
I've been red since 1968, dog.
Steve blowing.
No. The whole thing about, steroids and the home run record, it gets to me a little bit because, the part where everyone's, Bonds, he took steroids. He's not the home run king. Okay. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
How many pitchers did he face who were on the juice? Sosa, McGuire, the whole rest of it. And even go back to the 1960s. Roger Maris, 61 in 61. What was going on there?
They expanded.
Do you think that steroids were not in place?
Yes.
I'm not saying players had the same science. They didn't do it the way that the guys in the 90s did, but who knows what was going on with the greenies and other items. I talk about steroids into chicken a lot.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have organic food back then, so
right.
Roger Maris might have been having 3 roast chickens a day. You got steroids in the chicken, so we didn't drug test. We don't know what they did. We don't know who Bonds faced, who was on the juice. Baseball presided over all of it. So sorry, baseball and John Heyman and all the rest of you. You don't get to pick and choose which records based on which players are records. The guy hit the ball over the fence 73 times, and that's it. End of story.
Are we going to pull back the Astros cheating scandal? Are we going to take their World Series away?
No,
How about the Yankees when they had Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, Aaron Boone?
Right.
We can go right down the list. Here's one last thing on this one. When Jerry Rice broke the single-season touchdown, and I know football's different from baseball, he broke it.
Yeah, they're allowed to take steroids in football. Go ahead.
They encourage it.
Well, Sean Merriman won a Defensive Player of the Year the same year he had a 4-game suspension for HGH.
Lights out.
But he got 22 touchdowns in, I believe, 1987 when there was only a 14-game season. Jerry Rice. That was the single-season record forever. When Randy Moss broke the record, I was like, and Jerry's my guy. That was a great year. He did it in 16 games. I don't even care. Randy Moss was awesome. Who didn't love watching Randy Moss? We didn't go back.
Raider fans.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But we didn't go back and retroactively figure out why Randy shouldn't be the champion. And this, I just don't get why we go through this in baseball. It's baseball.
People don't like him.
Fourth draft pick.
It's that simple. People don't like him.
People like Randy Moss.
No, but people like Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And here's the thing.
Antler spray, Ray Lewis.
What do you guys think about this? This is what I think extends.
16 covers for Bonds. On
Dibs, what you said, unfortunately, a lot of people's rebuttal is, if your friend jumps off a bridge, does that mean it's okay for you to do it too? The pitchers were juicing. So now it sounds like, I know a lot of people will rebut that and say, so you're excusing Bonds' behavior?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Here's my question. And I want to do this without accusing anyone when I have no clue what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
I have, just as a sports fan and a human being, I have a hard time believing that either a team or an individual went out there clean and beat a bunch of people who are doing it dirty. In other words, the Houston Astros, I'm sorry, we're not the only team cheating.
We were talking Boston got caught.
And they were, in fact, there probably were very few teams who weren't.
Yeah.
Maybe the Royals and the Pirates and teams who don't care.
I'm sorry, they won 2 games on the road in that series at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, well, look, they also have a talented roster. So, yes, it wasn't. They were giving themselves an advantage. But, yeah, the Dodgers also won games in Houston. Are we going to act like the Los Angeles Dodgers, the centerpiece of entertainment, and the San Francisco Giants, the centerpiece of technology? These two teams are innocent flowers and watched Houston, Texas come up with this very forward-thinking idea that no one in baseball has thought of when players are switching from the Astros to other teams all the time, which I know is how the whistle ended up getting blown. So I'm not here to tell you that Aaron Judge is on steroids. What I'm here to say is,
that a voice short.
How do we know that anybody's clean, and how are they doing so well against people who we know aren't clean?
100%.
How's that possible?
It's impossible. Judge should have a lot more home runs. If Barry Bonds should have hit 100 home runs if he was the only one on the juice. So with Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame, that to me ends the argument of all of this, because Alan E.G. Bud Selig III presided over the whole thing. They did it. It was a premeditated move to allow it to happen. Baseball was a dying sport in the 90s. Sosa and McGuire brought it back via the juice. Andro, whatever Sammy was on, he was on all of it. And other players are like, oh, gee, Bonds saw what they did and thought, I got to get me some of that good. And so all of it was under the umbrella of Bud Selig. So you don't get John Heyman and all the rest of you sanctimonious scribes. You don't get to pick and choose what records stand and what records don't.
Well, honestly, when I watched that home run yesterday, and I enjoyed Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the season. One of the greatest contract years I've ever seen.
I got goosebumps hearing John Sterling's call.
John Sterling's call was great.
Fantastic
So me
call.
personally, after yesterday's show, I said, I don't want to pay attention to the negativity surrounding this home run chase. You want to disrespect Bonds? Go ahead. I'll just mute you, block you. I don't care. I just don't care what Verducci says or John Heyman says or what other these. Passett said it best. Bonds is a home run king. He hit 73 in the season. Let's move on. And nobody can move on 20 years later. We always focus on the things that are not going well in baseball.
John Heyman's got an agenda.
Well, thank you.
He's got an agenda.
I feel like we're playing his game right now by bringing him up. John Heyman to Aaron Judge has become similar to the guy who didn't vote for Derek Jeter to go to the Hall of Fame, and then he's on every radio show in the country the next day. So people can go, why didn't you vote for? Like, John, if you wanted an invite on the show, just text us. We'll bring you on the show, talk a little Aaron Judge. It's like he's going so over the top, and you can tell why. Every time he puts it out there, it gets a billion likes and a billion retweets, and whoever his boss is like, you know what, John? This is working. I think you should tweet about this every 4.5 hours.
It's like Bonte's Niner takes. It's good for business.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I had to get that in there. Your boy was up early.
Before we get to that.
Your boy was up early.
That was a 4.
Bonte on Jimmy G. Good for business.
We give the digital team 2 options. Hey, Shaq's going to have a great back and forth about the defense. No. We're going to make Bonte look insane. And I have veins popping out of my forehead on Instagram.
Don't act like you didn't love it.
No, I did. Off the field in this Marine.
Bonte was all over the internet.
Why does Bonte hate Jimmy G so much?
And I'm just like,
just because he does.
Yeah,
he just does. He hates Jimmy G.
I was the biggest Jimmy G cheerleader at the station in 2020.
Bonte.
I said, don't go to Brady.
It's sports radio. You're not going to undo this now.
Exactly.
You hate Jimmy. I love Jimmy. He's my boyfriend. You hate him. And that's the way the world works.
It is unbelievable.
On to Wednesday.
I leave from doing the Warriors season preview. By the way, we taped it. It'll be aired, I think, before the preseason game. Got to check. I'll let you know.
How many
tomorrow,
photos with the trophy?
I just took a couple with Laura. That's it. I've been there, done that. It's all news to me. I saw it at media day. It's like, dude,
I'll be on the court for ring night. So, there's no point in needing to do it when the TV will be on you.
You'll be on the floor?
I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing.
Pre-game, I'm sure you guys will be on the floor.
No, we'll be at the Gatehouse.
Did you see the prices, by the way, for those tickets to ring night?
Yeah, most expensive since Kobe's last game.
Isn't it? I thought the second most expensive regular season game of all time, I heard.
Kobe's may be number one then in 2016.
Okay.
Last night with Twitter, the last night Twitter broke. Wow. We saw the blue well on Twitter that night. The Warriors were going
the fail
473.
Look at you with the throwback.
Yeah,
I remember that night.
A lot of that coming, by the way, when Elon takes over. Enjoy Twitter while you have it, because Twitter's about to be over. We're on to the next.
You know what? That may be a good thing for a lot of us. All right? I don't like Twitter and this. I get out of the season preview. I look at Instagram. I'm been tagged. I'm like, I've been called so many clowns. I was Victory Tuesday. I uplifted this entire fan base on Monday alongside Duke with his rap.
Like your Moses.
San Francisco was down.
Splitting
I uplifted us. Dibs and I gave you locks. Gave you locks. We walked in Levi's.
I had the Rams. In full defense, I had the Rams.
Well, you did have the Rams, but you had defensive touchdown.
Remember,
I looked at everybody, and then Tuesday I'm public to be number one. How's that work?
Remember on Monday when I said let Bonte cook? All right, you're cooked. That's enough. That's enough out of you. I got the fan base ready. Ding, ding, Bonte's ready. Take him out of the oven.
It was
like crying out loud.
Him and Duke got him ready.
Calm down.
Nick Bosa doesn't get a sack without Bonte.
Don't get a sack.
One of my boys goes, I was about to drop my kids off of school, and they ended up being late because I had to hear the end of Duke's new rap. And I go, that's my favorite dad of the year. Shout out JC.
No doubt. Duke's rap is pretty good. We have it on the soundboard.
I was getting a bagel down in Santa Clara, and I actually sat in the car waiting for my bagel with egg because, you're on the road, you got to get a little brekkie because you're not sure what your foodstuffs are very important. I'm like, look at Duke get loose.
Dude, he was on fire.
Duke is doing it,
business.
They
had me, my veins were popping out of my forehead. My mom said, you got to take it easy, dude. I'm like, that was just one little 5-second blip. I look like a madman.
Yeah.
Who looks like the big black guy. He's mad. Oh.
Man, why so angry, bro?
Why so angry, bro?
You
Seriously.
mad, bro?
Capri Suns.
So the Giants going to win 81 today?
Sorry to grab this piece of dynamite and throw it into the middle of the room
seriously.
after listening to you guys this morning, but it has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
John Brebbia will start today at Petco Park.
I told you.
The San Francisco Giants and San Diego Padres in an old school grudge match. Throw the records out because this one doesn't count.
It just means more to the NL West.
It means something. To go 500.
Does it?
81 and 81.
See, there's one of those things that means something until it's over, and then you forget. Years ago, I actually love the way that the U.S. women's national team
Soccer.
Yeah. Right? But soccer in this country, and this is changing now.
They're our most dominant team.
Go back, call this, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. What was the match, and the women made it to the final, and did they lose to China or Japan? I feel like in the World Cup final, or was it the semifinals? You're looking at me with a blank stare. Am I not remembering correctly?
I'm not sure if you're remembering it correctly.
Here's why I bring it up. It was South Korea. Okay, South Korea, and it was the final, right? World Cup final for the women? Semifinal? Whatever it was. Japan.
It was a friendly.
I got to get the lifeline, damn it.
Anyway, it was the final. So my point is, I'm at a restaurant, and the whole country is like, oh my gosh, World Cup final, World Cup final. And then America surprisingly loses. And I was at a Yard House, and everyone's like, all right, so what are we doing for dinner? Like, you don't actually care. You think you care. Yeah. We're starting to care more about soccer, but that was soccer in this country. Yeah. There was a period of time where we didn't care. Then we acted like we cared.
Well, that's what
now I officially think we care. Same thing with the Giants today. Yeah. Oh, they need a 500 record. You're going to forget their record by December.
Is this a must-win?
I will never forget their record. The record is indicative of the Gabe Kapler approach. Well, lefties against righties, righties against lefties.
Legacy game?
And you wake up at the end of the year and you're 81 and 81. You do all that spreadsheeting and you do all that analytics, and I'm going to take the lefty against the righty. I'm the smartest guy in the room. 81 and 81. Yeah. Nice job,
if they're lucky, might be 80 and 82.
This is a legacy game.
No, I don't.
Steiny.
The record stakes either way.
Over under innings Steiny's watched this year.
Oh, gosh, through 2.5.
Oh, no. I was going to say, what's bigger, Brebbia's appearances or Steiny's innings watched?
Well, because he was at a Giants game. That I was at.
So that's 9 right there.
Yeah, but was he watching? Well, he was there. But was he watching?
Did he go to the Niner game? I saw him at the tailgate.
He had a tall boy, and he was hanging out, and I went and saw him. He's like, I was going to stay. I think I'm going to go home. And then Goo left his wallet at his dad's.
Did Goo make it back?
No chance.
Well, no. You know what? I give him credit just for even the idea. You can't leave Levi Stadium and then be like, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
No chance.
You make it here by Thursday if you're lucky.
There's no
hang on. I left something at home. Let me run. That's like saying I left clothes in a hotel in New York. Let me go get it. I'll be right back.
He could have very easily jumped on the VTA to Bart, catch an Uber, get home, get the wallet, reverse it, Uber to Bart to VTA. You're there by halftime.
Put that thing down, flip it in reverse.
Thank you.
I'm going to get a text from him like, no, man, it was real. I'm going to get me mad at me. I can already feel it.
It's fine. It's fine to forget something, but don't think you're going to run home from Levi's and be right back.
As Guru would say, put the rat on the table.
Let's hear it.
Did Guru forget his wallet? There's no way he's driving to Santa Clara forgetting his wallet. Not with the caddy. He needs gas every 5 miles.
I know,
come on. And does Guru
got a money clip in his pocket?
Have Apple Pay on his iPhone? I mean,
hell no.
Let me leave it alone. Guru, I love you. I love you.
Goo, I know you're driving in, and this will come up about 12:03. Yeah. Just know that I kept your name out my mouth.
I tried to.
Can I make a point about Apple Pay? Can I make a point about Apple Pay? They've made it too easy for me to buy things. When you have to pull out the credit card and type things in, I would at least second guess myself.
You know what? Coming from someone who doesn't have kids, excuse me if I don't want to hear it, that they've made it too easy for you to buy things.
Yeah.
They have made it too easy for my son to buy things that is on my account with his phone. That's the problem. No, he's like, hey, Dad, did you put $10 on my green light card? I did. He's like, oh, you didn't text back fast enough. I used Apple Pay. I used my debit card.
Yeah.
I used
face recognition.
You got 14 ways to use the account now. So the wallet doesn't even matter anymore. Who needs a wallet?
Well,
I got 3 kids and a bunch of problems.
What do you guys have cooking?
Sean Salisbury's coming on in an hour.
Oh, nice.
And actually, you can launch us in to this conversation with your thought, because I heard them last night, Salisbury and Lowe, with the football hour. I was listening to them drive around, and they threw this question out there because the team was 2-2 last year after 4 weeks. So go back to last year and everything we knew about that season, and then come to this year. Which 2-2 makes you feel better? Did you feel better or worse about the 49ers' chances last year after 4 weeks or
this year? Because last year
I
they
agree
started
with you.
2-0.
I agree
they
with
lost
you.
2 straight. We're like, and Jimmy didn't play that Arizona game.
We didn't know
lost.
Debo would turn into this. It's a good play. I like this.
Has there ever been
It's good producing.
Has there ever been a better? Yeah, you're welcome, Kyle. Anyway, has there ever been a better?
It's a good question.
Example.
I gotta give Dibs.
Has there ever? What's the matter? You okay?
Keep going. You're doing great.
Has there ever been a better example of? Has there ever been a better example of one game changes everything?
Oh, wow.
Well, that's the NFL, because if they go to Carolina and they lose, I don't know, 11-10, one game will have changed everything yet again.
That's a high spread in that game.
What is it?
What's it up to?
6.5. I think it's down to 6. I thought it was
It's down to
I think-
6. Sharp
I think-
money
We'll
on the
double check it.
Panthers.
39.5 is the over-under. They're telling you 23-17, basically, which,
No.
I mean, Carolina...
If Carolina gets to 17, that's an accident. Don't you think?
One turnover, one shark
Yeah.
field. One special, one Ray McLeod. Oops, I did it again.
6 feels high.
Right?
That is high.
Am I tripping?
Up to
You're
6.5,
tripping.
starting down
Am
to
I?
6,
They're
which tells
terrible.
you the sharp money. Yeah, their defense are not bad, though.
No, it's still 6.5.
Coming up, I'll tell you why I think this 2-2 is not as good as last year's 2-2. I think there are some things that surround what's gone on and what could be to come that have me a little bit concerned.
Nice.
But I'll save that for the other
Nice.
side.
I'll be
All
listening.
right, we'll be listening.
Got a
We're
long
getting out of
drive.
here. We got an appointment 9:30. He's got a long drive. We're going to let you
Where
guys
we
get
heading?
an extra 20
Sacramento.
minutes.
Okay.
That is a long drive.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers.
There's some stuff.
Thank you.
Kyle
Well, I
Shanahan.
got this foot thing. By the way, before we get out of here, someone said that you made the catch of a lifetime scaling a fence in like a Berkeley softball game.
Oh, my God. How do you know this?
Some
Somebody
guy
called
called
us.
in, and he said that Dibs made the greatest
been
catch.
Brett Goldman.
I almost forgot
It
this.
was Brett and Sarah Rafael.
I
Thank
swear
you.
to God, he said you made the greatest catch in the history of softball, scaling the fence, and I guess
said
Golf's
Major League
dad
player
was
was
on the
out
team.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still don't know how I made the play. And this
Wow.
was about 3 surgeries ago. I went back. It's one of those ones where you're just charging for it. The ball hits the glove. The face hits the fence. Body parts everywhere. But I held on.
$60 million deal from Brian Sabian after
The
that,
guy
right?
tagged from first and scored because I'm lying in right field. Coach your boys in right field, by the way. The guy tagged. I think they scored 3 runs on the play.
He didn't
but
mention that one. That was great.
the guy tagged from first.
Hey,
He
you know
got
what?
second, he's like, that guy's still down?
First ever walk-off sack fly from first base in the history of
Oh,
baseball.
my God.
That was a good
Totally.
goal. You guys
All right,
have a good
boys.
one,
All
man.
right, boys.